All right, man. On to serious shit. Okay. Yeah.
I can't.
Is this Young Miami or Young Mommy? What? How you
Young
pronounce it?
Miami. Young Miami.
Young Miami. Enjoy
It's
golden showers.
It's YUNG, but whatever. We got it. You know.
It's your spelling, man. I just clicked and pasted.
You did.
Yeah, they call him
fault.
Pee Diddy. I mean, I don't have anything for this.
Hey, what we just talk about a dude that's over what 8 figures?
Yeah,
he pretty much gonna do what the fuck he gonna do.
You think she let me pee on her?
No,
right.
She may let you fart on her, but not pee.
She ain't always been famous, but she always been in the piss. Okay, so they're down through the line. She got one of them original boot knockers that can still come back and get that pussy peeing on her every couple of years.
Yeah, that Hennessy pee. You know
but every woman's got one guy that can always come back and get.
You ever smell pee after Christian Brothers,
dude? That after OE,
yeah. That shit to be brownish, look like petrol fuel,
look like cider. Yeah.
That Honey Crisp apple cider.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you think he eats asparagus before he does it?
I was thinking about that same shit.
You have to, don't you?
But
that's
for her,
I mean, the whole thing gotta drink Pabst Blue Ribbon and eat some asparagus.
I mean, but seriously,
that's
you
two extremes,
you
bro.
have to.
Two different extremes.
If someone is into getting pissed on, if somebody's into getting pissed on, they're not in it just because of the warm water feeling. You know, it's to feel like disgusting, doing something very disgusting. So the worst the pee can be, hey, don't drink nothing but coffee for 3 days and eat that asparagus. You know, like and leave that stanky, sticky, you know, diabetic piss all over my face and neck. Like, it has to be deplorable, and that's what's enjoyable to these motherfuckers.
The thing is, she admitted it.
She admitted it.
You know, it's like where we at with these females these days, man.
Man,
like,
that's that old gangster shit, bruh. Dude, think about it. We're gonna take this back a little bit. To W Balls, the golden shower hour, wake your goat mouth ass up.
Got you. I got you.
Hey, but wasn't Diddy in all kind of freaky shit anyway? I mean, wasn't he like the black, eyes wide shut motherfucker?
Yeah, for the most part, I expect nothing less. But for her to come out, doing an interview with Trina, she came out and said,
but think about it. Look at who the interview was with. I mean, it's Trina.
Yeah, I mean, she's comfortable with
and I love me some Trina.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's down in Miami. You gotta think though, too, bro. This 2 Live crew, all that. That's
but she's
what?
How old is Young Miami?
She's not. I mean, I think she's in her 20s.
She's like 25. Her mama and them was probably coming up through the Freaknik and all that other shit.
Yeah, they got all that. Yeah, I mean, that's all that shit.
This is the new age, and she on that shit.
They got pissed on.
Or I have a big or. Since I'm the man behind the myth, who explains the myth behind the myth.
Who explains? Yeah.
Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. They just open with the rituals now. They've been doing that shit. They've been drinking piss, eating feces. Only certain people can stomach it and can do it to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And she's with the guy who just took Kanye's spot. I mean, this shit is not coincidental. Kim Porter's book is out. Albie Shore's up out the coma. Jaguar Wright's losing their mind.
Oh, bro,
and everybody's talking about Diddy. Yeah. Everybody's telling what Diddy did.
Kim Porter
Kanye said, "I'll give you the names." I told you.
You said Kim Porter got a book?
Oh yeah.
What, he came out posthumously or something?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you this. Nothing shocks me. All you gotta do is read Mark Curry's joint, Dancing with the Devil. That shit is like real eye-opening about this motherfucker, but people still love this motherfucker.
Bro, it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a whole bunch of shit.
It's all coming out now.
But I was seeing in the past week that's just on some wild shit.
Yeah, but we touched on it, in the last segment about, 8-figure dudes. They got options, meaning they could piss shit and do whatever the hell they want on anybody. What, Diddy just had a baby?
Let me say this, man.
Yeah, with another chick. He just with another chick.
And this motherfucker been acting real
Didn't
weird.
One of them used to date his son, not too.
That was Lori Harvey.
That was Lori Harvey.
Oh, that was okay.
Now she messing with the boy from Snowfall.
Yeah.
But listen, man.
Wait a minute, the uncle?
Nah, not the curl, man. Not the curl. You know Franklin, man.
Oh,
you tripping, man. You tripping.
They come back.
Oh, shit.
Come back.
Oh my.
The uncle? No, not the uncle, man.
Nah, hey. Nah.
Hey, they should be the two new characters in P Valley.
Put P Valley alone, man. Leave him alone, man.
Yeah,
P Valley, get it? P.
Oh, I got it. Nice pun.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
Going back, I mean, I remember reading Confessions of a Video Vixen, and there was that thing where he was telling Exhibit to stay away from her because she'll throw a bunch of shit in his ass. Diddy's been on some other shit for a long time, and you remember how he danced back in the day. Like that wasn't no man shit.
You got to watch the clips from 50. He got a bunch of clips.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
Man. That motherfucker said, dude, talk about it. Yeah, man, we could go out. I could take you shopping for clothes. He was like,
the fuck
I don't need you buying me clothes. The fuck is wrong with you talking about, man? That's some, nah, fam, nah.
What the fuck this nigga just say?
He gonna take me shopping for clothes.
Listen,
yeah, man, it's all on me. I pay for it. He's like, man, I don't ever need you to buy me clothes, man. What is wrong with you?
Did you see the shit where Diddy was asking Fab to come party with him?
Yeah.
And Fab was like, Diddy, we already party. He was like, nah, I mean party. And Fab and like Jada was like,
man, watch Diddy.
He gonna try and Diddy you,
left it. Watch Diddy. That's why we left Bad Boy.
Right. He gonna try and Diddy you. That's what that name sound like, Diddy.
That was back when Pastor Mace was an altar boy for Diddy.
Right.
Drizzy,
my God, my God.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Tank is on fire.
Allegedly.
Pass me that. Man, that dude talk about God. So I'd be like, what God? Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I got to stop that shit too.
What God is you talking?
Right.
I thank God, we on top. You on top tonight?
Stop.
Right.
You was on bottom last time?
They call him love now. They call him love. Yeah.
Oh,
man,
my.
What kind of
my
love?
God.
What's your first name, love? Dookie.
Piss.
Dookie love.
Dookie sweet. Next, man, you got me on some other shit. I'm following Paddington, man. Let's bring this shit, land this plane.
Anyway,
land this plane.
Please let me.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead, man.
Yes, please.
So dig it, man. Oftentimes we hear people. It's the reason why I want to go first. Oftentimes we hear people say, I stand on this. You got to stand on something.
Yeah.
They're standing on something, but then there's also admitting when you're wrong, looking at some things, right? And so, in light of this shit with Homeboy, because I'm going somewhere with this, I do want to say I was wrong about Dion, right? Even though, because my brothers challenged me on this one. Now, I still have some ways that I feel about the situation. So, he was saying things were stolen, and it turned out that they weren't. That they were just moved. The daughter had to recently apologize because she embellished some things. There's only been 4 murders at that campus, but the thing is this: Dion was there for 3 years. Brothers were right about that. He invested his money in there. Your brothers were right. I was watching the videos. He had Snoop, The Rock, all these people, Yellow Beezy up there. You brothers were right. What was the other thing that he did? He did so many things.
He brought the old girl up to tell him about the traps of the hood rats. What's her name?
Brittany Renner brought
Brittany
her
Renner.
up there.
Yeah,
Renner,
which
Renner.
was
Yeah, Brittany Renner.
Brittany Renner.
Brittany Renner, which was
That
I
was
think
awesome.
the best thing ever to do
Right.
for those kids. But go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
More important than anything, he was transparent.
Yeah,
He was transparent. And the other thing is, he was not trying to blast Jackson State. Things just happened to just come out. He wasn't trying to blast them.
hold on. One I want to interject one thing.
Go ahead, brother.
He called in the audit. You understand what that is? He put up his some of his salary. Yeah, some of his salary went towards towards the school, towards the funding. And he said, okay, if the broadcasters are saying on the game that we sold out, but yet y'all bringing in the numbers from the seats saying that it's only 20-40% full out of 100, where's the money?
Right.
And that's when shit start to get a little funky, because they were like, pretty much, who are you to ask? You're like, I'm the guy who took a pay cut to come here. Some of my money is going into y'all, so I want an audit.
Absolutely.
If the broadcaster said, oh, we coming live from Jackson State with a sold out crowd, but then I asked for the numbers and y'all only saying we at 60, maybe 70%.
Right.
Come on. But go ahead.
No. You're right. No, I thank you for adding that in there, because wrong is fucking wrong. Right.
That
now,
part.
we cannot look over the fact that they gave him an opportunity when these other institutions wouldn't.
True.
All right. And they're starting to sanitize him right now, because the son is no longer ahead of his social media shit. I mean, for the team, he handles his Dion's private shit. That being said, because I was wrong, I made sure that I looked into this whole shit with Ed Reed. Right up until today's show, I watched a Roland Martin interview, and the only thing I didn't get to was the students. And though I'm not even gonna say that, I'm gonna even give him that. Though he may have been right about some things, motherfucker was dead wrong.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. he was dead wrong, because I watched the shit, and what I was looking for was, hey man, did he take this shit to them? About the problems. He was only there 25 days. And then I'm watching an interview with the interim President Lawrence Drake. And he's like, I said three things to him. This is a Christian university, conduct yourselves, this, that, and the other. I think that's a bunch of bunk. Because I said it before Roland, it actually came up with it. I'm like, yo, man, these motherfucking kids up here partying and shit. You think that they acting in a Christian manner, walking around with Bibles? That's a bunch of bunk. He was talking about the music in one of the videos. The second thing he said, well, we wanted to build a team up around him. He was cool with that. But the third and most important thing that he said was, hey, we informed him that this was neither the University of Florida, nor was it the NFL. We just coming off 2 hurricanes that caused $6 million in damage that we didn't count in the fucking budget. He's talking about his office wasn't clean. He said that wasn't his office. We were renovating that after the last guy left. We were renovating all of those spaces. He said, we told him that we know that this campus needs over $100 million over several years. Okay. Yes, I didn't like when he said it was mildew, but he said, yes, there's mold on things. He said, but this is what happens when things sit in water. A lot of those buildings that they're showing aren't even being used. They aren't even serviceable. And Ed Reed showed his fucking ass, and the contracts weren't even signed. Nor should he have been on there showing his ass like that, cursing. Dion, one thing you can say about that brother is he is super fucking polished. He won't curse, nor do I think he let people cuss around him. Not saying that that's a big thing to me, but if we're talking about presentation here, right? We're speaking about presentation. I watched this interview, and then I watched Ed Reed. Now, the brother Lawrence Drake made a point to not talk bad about him. I didn't like that Roland didn't correct the female panelist when she said the president, he said he wanted them to protest about other things, which is not what he said. He said, I'm proud of these kids because this is how you get power. That's power out there. Those kids protesting. He said, what I would like for them to do is use this same power in other areas, and Roland didn't correct the shit. Ed Reed got on there and didn't acknowledge shit. All he said was, man, I put $2,400 into this. He started crying and acting all erratic and get up walking around. And the slaves jumped off of the ships and they hung people from trees. I know what's going on with this university and they slandering me, man. Now, if you had a problem with Reggie Theus, you should have said that. I believe him when he says that Reggie told him to withdraw his name. I don't think he's lying about that. But what I think is this brother made a huge misstep.
Yep.
By blasting that fucking campus like that.
Yep. That's why when you brought this up, I was just like, what part do you really want to talk about? Because he fucked up. I wanted you to come around and see exactly what he did. I didn't know how you was gonna talk about Ed and what light you were gonna talk about him in, because I was like, hands down, he fucked up. You don't do that. You just don't do that. And you ain't even on campus yet. And like you said, the contracts weren't even signed. They were like, no, thank you. Next.
And I think his heart is in a wonderful place. It's like, Shaq was gonna, well, if Shaq cared about them kids, he'd do what he was pledging to do for you. It's not about you, it's about the kids. But I just think, man, he went off the deep end. The campus they had the hurricanes in fucking November. Dude said they've been trying to renovate the campus for a year and a half. They've been trying to fix this shit up. He was even bold enough to say, yo, Roland, y'all could come to this motherfucker. Y'all could come see what this place is like. And they're going to do a town hall. I think it's February 2nd and 3rd. Homie, I was wrong about Dion. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a conspiracy thing in my head that's like, damn, it's kind of a coincidence that two NFL Hall of Famers go to these historically black colleges and all of a sudden there's gripes. Now, that's different for Dion. He gave it 3 fucking years and his money. This motherfucker gave it. And
damn. Hey, let's not sleep on Tennessee State.
I'm glad you're going there because I wanted to bring up Eddie George, but go ahead.
Yeah, they got Mr. George there as well. So he's not he got in there and feeling he could, he's feeling himself because of what Dion did. He can go in there. He opened up the door a little bit. He got a little way too comfortable. But understand this: you're not Dion. You're not polished. Dion has been a brand since he stepped, on the field, football and baseball.
And Eddie George had a nuanced conversation. Like, listen, and Drizzy, I think you'll appreciate this. I did my Drizzy research, man. There was a whole article that Forbes came out with as far as how these land grant institutions are severely fucking underfunded. The only two that aren't is Central State, and I think is Iowa or one of these other ones. But every other one is owed $1 billion, $900-something million there. Michigan, they said that for HBCUs over the last 14 years got something like $14 billion. Michigan's endowment alone is $17 billion, he was saying. So the fact that money went off the deep end like that, it's exactly what you're saying. He saw what Dion was doing, but he didn't have the finesse to do it. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have the polish to be going in there though. He went in there guns blazing.
Yep.
In front of the parents. Y'all heard cuss words before. Y'all heard cuss words and all this shit before. Yeah. It's like, come on, brother. You mishandling that. And these kids, like, I understand what you want, but this cat, I think this motherfucker's CTE is showing, man.
You know what, man? All right.
Go ahead. There's no way to diagnose it. Maybe this should be it. When a nigga start acting crazy when you give him a job, he's got CTE.
Go ahead.
I appreciate both of your contributions, and I see a lot of where you're coming from. First curse word that you said was Roland Martin. I stand with Vicky Dillard. Yeah, I'm taking sides. Go ahead. I don't have much regard for HBCUs. I'm glad Ed Reed exposed them. I'm tired of our people playing ball even when they get on a certain level, when they can actually have a voice and have an opportunity to bring attention to gross negligence. One hurricane should not have put that university in a situation like that. They live in Florida. They existed in Florida for decades. Buildings full of trash do not explain. And having lived in Florida, I mean, mold, all those things, I guess they can develop, but not rather quickly. That goes from time passing and neglect taking place. Now, his misjudgment of the office, probably an honest mistake, but they shouldn't have showed him that space. That could have been easily remedied by just not happening. I like Ed Reed. I think he's all heart. And I think some people who are all heart aren't the best articulators of their thought process.
Mm-hmm.
The university has them as a disadvantage because you have a bunch of intellectuals who are paid to do damage control when situations similar to this occur. I think it's just a misfortune of this occurrence. I think that he jumped the gun in some ways. The contracts weren't signed. That's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? But I can definitely understand him wanting to raise alarm to the conditions he saw, being that he's come from the gutter to where he is, and then seeing these kids going through that where they don't even have a practice field. How do you expect me to build a football program and we don't even have a fucking place to practice?
So let me rebut that. Let me rebut when you finish. Go ahead, Cuddy.
Okay. Because I'm just going off what he said.
Yeah, I mean, at no point in time, because it sounds like he was there for not just one day, right?
Right.
I mean, at no point in time did any employees from this university say, "Hey, nigga, you don't work here." I mean, if the contracts weren't signed
or something,
you know, and he's jumping the gun on everything and doing this, like either you work here or you don't.
You're gonna
you can't have the football team just disappear and start picking up garbage on campus if you're not an employee.
Yeah. And he was meeting with parents and recruits. So it just gets a little confusing here.
He jumped the shark, man. He jumped the shark. That's all. He jumped the shark.
So,
all he had to do, like you said, Drizzy, he's all heart. So he came in blazing. Like,
so
I'm gonna turn this program around.
All right. So allow me to rebut that. All right. So it wasn't one hurricane. It was two hurricanes. Okay. And you're absolutely right. That those conditions aren't something that, let's just say, want to do. But if you paid attention to the damage that the flooding did in Houston, it fucked those houses up. And those houses look the exact same way that those dorms look. Okay. But when, and this is the other thing, you said that they have him at an intellectual advantage. Well, the advantage that he has is he's an NFL Hall of Famer in America's most beloved sport.
No, I didn't mean any disrespect to his prowess as an intellectual.
No. I'm not saying
his
that.
Communication style.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not just follow me. What he has is he has a bully pulpit as an NFL Hall of Famer. Okay. Same way Dion did. Okay. I would go with what you're saying as far as the exposing part. If the interim president at that, didn't say we had challenges that we made him aware of. We told him what was going on with this. Again, this is not the University of Miami, nor is it the NFL. We need these fixes. This place needs over $100 million over so many years. There's $6 million in damage that's not even in our budget. They can't afford it. And so my thinking is that trash that's in those buildings, because he also said that there was supply chain issues. You know what I'm saying? And they made this man aware of everything. Okay. The problem I had with other problem I had with Ed Reed was he ended up to me, he threw the kids under the bus because he's like, oh, they talking about my music. Have you looked at the way some of these have you seen the way these students dress? They worse than the music. Oh man, I was pulling trash from under the trees because some of the players they was being all cute. If it was just, I get what you're saying, but to me it sounded like this. They trying to fix the problem. Like this school has less than 3,000 students. That's some high schools have more than that. Of course, they're not gonna have.
Oh,
you muted, bro.
You muted yourself.
Went out for a second.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. This shit booted me off and everything, man.
Okay.
Y'all even coming through on my man.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think that they're on the same side. I just think his approach was too brash, and I think it was misunderstood. I think the things that he was saying was, hey, we need to do something about this.
Right.
These kids shouldn't have to deal with this, regardless of the hurricanes or the lack of funding. Like, we need to do something about this. And since you brought me here, I think he put his money where his mouth was, even though we might say, oh, NFL star, $2,400 is nothing, but that's a whole stimulus check. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Absolutely.
So he was trying to do something without having signs, without having received a dime. And I don't think his point was ever the money. And this brings an interesting topic. So what about what Trump signed to where they didn't have to keep coming back and asking for that federal funding? What about what Trump signed? Is it being implemented? Is it not? Is that part of the issue? I would like to know the answer to these questions.
Well, one of the things that the brother was saying was the alumni is a problem. He was saying that they had to change the whole way. And see that's what I'm saying. This cat was completely transparent. Ed handled that like a dickhead because the dude said, because Roland was asking him, and let me say this, I agree with those two cuss words, Roland Martin. I'm with you, brother. But I think he gave a very objective, fair interview. He didn't do the typical shit like he did. Like, to me, let's just say with Dr. Umar, regardless of how anybody feels about Dr. Umar, they fucking ambushed that guy. And I think he did well in light of who the fuck was on that panel and how he was being handled. That being said, the brother was saying the alumni don't, because Roland asked him, he said the alumni ain't raising no fucking money. He said how much did they raise? Less than 1%. So we had to change the way we're doing things because they're not doing it. You know what I mean? I think look, man, I think that because then he started talking weird. They said he had the one guy was trying to speak for him, and his own guy that was trying to speak for him said he put the passion before the purpose, and he jumped in, and they said, "Yo, he said we extended an olive branch to Bethune." He said, they asked him and said, "Well, have any other HBCUs reached out to you?" And it was like, "Oh, I turned down jobs to come here. I turned down the job at JSU." He's like, "What? Jackson State? Come on, brother." Now, my thing is this. If something can be worked out, if somebody's willing to work something out with him, then hey man, if they decide to take him because those kids saying they want him, the parents saying they want him, and once again, I think his heart is in the right place, then hey, work it out. Right. Work it out. I'm not saying fuck him altogether. I'm saying he fucked himself.
That part. Don't do shit until the contract's signed.
Right. And still have some tact, man.
Yeah.
Got you.
Let's bring this plane home.